What's up, everybody? We're here to talk about Ashton Jeanty. Where's he landing? Broncos? Raiders? Where's Travis Hunter landing? Landing. Travis Hunter going to the Browns. Most suspect. These are the most likely landing spots according to the pundits and the mock draft makers. Mel Kiper's board we're going to break down in a minute. This appears to be what everybody believes to be the two most likely landing spots. Now, this one's going to require a trade, but there's tremendous interest in Denver wanting Jeanty. So if a team is going to trade up, and we've said this for months, if a team is going to trade up to get Jeanty early, and we don't suspect, this to happen until draft day. Why? Because no one's trading up for a spot that doesn't guarantee them Jeanty, even at number 5 overall. No team's going to necessarily, well, I shouldn't say no team, but teams are not likely to go get this number 5 overall pick right here unless they know that Jeanty's on the clock and available. So that's why a draft day trade is more likely than a pre-draft day trade in terms of positioning for Jeanty. But if any team is going to jump into the top 10 to grab Ashton Jeanty, leapfrog people, it probably would be the Denver Broncos. These are the two most projected teams to land this man on draft day. Whereas Hunter going seems like Cleveland. Some say Carter. Some say the Browns will take a quarterback. That sentiment's dying, and there's not a lot of people that think that Shedeur could go in the top 3 anymore. I still think the Giants are in play. And where does Shedeur go? If he doesn't go 3, he doesn't go 2. Probably locked in for the Saints at number 9. I do agree with that. So I do think Hunter goes to Cleveland. We're going to break it all down. I do believe that Shedeur goes to New Orleans if he doesn't go to New York at number 3 overall. And I do believe Jeanty goes to the Raiders ultimately, but the one team that could jump in is this. Let's talk about all this and more in the Fantasy Football Show. And we're also talking about all the haters that are hating on Travis Hunter right now because of the stupid analysis people have been throwing down on this. I want to play both positions, or I'd rather not play football. The people that have commented on this, even big news aggregates, people not doing the research, not looking into it, and actually being critical of that statement, don't know what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're talking about. They're just regurgitating what they heard. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, Denver, Raiders, Denver. Jeanty going anywhere else. Joshua says he's my board, not Mel Kiper's. Well, this is my board. It's been up, every single day. Jeanty either goes here at 6 or he goes 5 here, which would probably not be the Jaguars. They could surprise us because Liam Cohen, you got to remember this is the guy that developed Bucky Irving last year. But this is probably the leapfrog spot is what we'll probably call it. Now, Denny's been dialing into the phone line here. I haven't been live yet, so we haven't talked. But Denny, if you're still there, dial in again. I was getting ready for the show. But Denny's been trying to get into the phone line here. Denny, call in again. You're the only one that can call in right now. The Jets, Warren, the Panthers, probably McMillan or Golden. You've got Walker. This one is probably going to be Shedeur if it's not here. If Shedeur doesn't go to the Giants here, I think he goes to the Saints here. Hampton, 10. Denver is this dangerous team that could grab the leapfrog spot to get Jeanty. Denver's not trading to 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 in any sort of way to try and get Jeanty because he most likely won't be there. They have to either grab this 5 now or wait until they're on the clock and grab it then. They're the leapfrog team. Pittsburgh doesn't have a chance to get Jeanty. I don't think they'd pay the piper to get this 5 spot. And I think they're very content with who they've talked to, and I believe they do very much want to go running back. The Dallas Cowboys aren't going to get crazy, but they will take Hampton if he falls past the Chicago Bears. Why do I think Hampton's going to the Chicago Bears so early, people think I'm crazy when I mock draft this, because this is Ben Johnson who wants Jeanty more than anything. Either Ben Johnson and the Bears come up and leapfrog at 5 to get Jeanty here, or they have to settle for Hampton, who is not a slum by any means. This is a good pick, but it's an early pick because they can't afford to let him fall. Dallas will probably take Hampton at 12 if he's there. Dallas will grab probably either McMillan or Golden. If McMillan or Golden don't go both of these locations, one of each in Jaguars, one and the other one in Carolina. So this is a tough. They could take Egbuka here at 12. Egbuka could be gone by 18. He could be gone by 15. He could be gone at 14. You got a lot of craziness that could happen. But back to the news quickly, and just say that yes, I do believe that these are the two teams that we're talking about for draft day. I think it is the most logical. The only other team that comes into mind for Jeanty, if he were to fall, which I don't think he will, past the Raiders at 6 and nobody leapfrogs to 5, Jeanty's probably going 9 to the New Orleans Saints. The only thing that could throw that off is if Sanders hadn't gone to the Giants, Sanders and Jeanty both on the clock, very unlikely. Then the Saints could have a scenario unfold where they let Jeanty fall to 10. That's the only way that the Bears fans are going to have their hands on Jeanty on draft day. So just know that. A lot of Bears fans are like, he's going to the Bears. He's not, unless the lightning strikes everyone. So earlier today, we had a lot of Shedeur, we've always had Shedeur Sanders buzz, but we had a lot of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter buzz. What had happened is there was he looks like a kid. I guess he works for what was it, ESPN or one of the CBS. Works for CBS, and he had Travis Hunter on his podcast. And on his podcast, he asked him a very hypothetical, like fairy dust, fun little question. Like, hey, I got a great question for you, Travis. Here's the scenario. And everybody and their mother took this question out of context, ran with it. Everybody started posting it. Travis Hunter says he's never playing football again if he can't play wide receiver and cornerback in the NFL. And this isn't just trying to play on the words in a fun way. Bleacher Report actually didn't even look into it. Either that or they really were trying to get clicks and they knew what they were doing, which is certainly possible. To add the eyeball emoji, like wild face, on top of putting this up, it caused a lot of chaos, and everybody started reporting on it. Everybody started talking about it. But here, if you listen,
if you had to choose between playing only one position in the NFL.
If you had to choose between playing one position in the NFL, look at the kid asking him the question. Look at the child on screen. This is what he probably just turned 18. Doesn't have a facial hair at all. His armpit hair hasn't even dropped yet. This guy's asking him a fun, hi, if I sprinkle pixie dust on you and turned you into somebody that could grant a wish, and let's say I grew a mustache 10 years from now, and let's just say you could only choose one of two options. Let's hear his question again. Let's hear the kid's special request. It's like, this is him asking one of his special questions. Hey, you get one question, kid. What would you like to ask Travis Hunter?
If you had to choose between playing only one position in the NFL or playing football again.
He didn't step up to a... And so I go nuts on that. And here's his response. And thinks he's arrogant or thinks he's... That's me. Be that job, caddy.
What would you choose?
Just never playing football again. His answer was just never playing football again. To the kid's question. It's unbelievable. Nobody looking into any of this. This kid doesn't have hair in his armpits, and he's asking a fairy dust, pixie dust question. You're on a pony riding through the desert, and what if you couldn't play football ever again, or ride a pony, or you can only play one position, wide receiver, DB? What do you choose? And Travis Hunter's expression, look at the man. He's smiling. He goes, oh, I would just rather never play. Here's his response. Here's his response. It's not. The audio's not playing. Watch Travis Hunter smile. He's like, that's a great question, kid. I guess I'd choose never play. And we had people in here, and you know who you are because you're not here now. Where are you at now? Where are you at now? We had people in the earlier live stream where we broke this, and I said this was happening on a kid's podcast, a little kid's podcast, and this report comes out, and some of you came in and go, God, he really, Shedeur can't be this stupid to go out there and tell teams he's not going to play ever again. What are people reporting? Does anybody have a journalism degree anymore? Does anybody have a journalism degree in the business anymore? I don't think so. Who is everybody hiring these days? Anybody with the Twitter account with over 5,000 followers that they gained in their mom's basement faceless without their face on the account at all? Who are we hiring these days? Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. What are we doing? What's with the hatred? Why are you trying to drag down Shedeur? Why are you trying to drag down all of these players that deserve your respect? This guy, Travis Hunter, respects the game so much that he's telling you, I can do this. I can come to a team and play both sides of the football. I can do more. I can wear more pieces of flair. What's the requirement? Wear 10 pieces of flair on my uniform. You know, little flags and little smiley faces and hearts. 10 is the minimum. I'll wear 20. Everybody else is, I'll wear 10. I'll wear 11, maybe 12. And everybody complains. He can't play both sides of the ball. Why? Because your daddy told you? Because your mommy's warming up you a hot pocket upstairs and you're in the basement and your mama said nobody's ever played both sides of the football, sonny boy. Don't eat the hot pocket right now. It's kind of warm, little baby Billy.
Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick.
You don't know what you're talking about. Journalism's dead. Journalism's dead. News aggregates and news reporting is dead. Everybody thinks they're a news reporter. I'm a fan page of the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Niners, or I'm a Denver Bronco news aggregate. I've got it all. I've got 25,000 followers I tripped and fell on, and now all of a sudden I'm just going to put in my bio, I'm the best newsbreaker on any team you've ever seen. Nobody is taking, no one's a serious person anymore. No one is a serious person. No journalism degrees, no radio experience, nothing. Just Mickey Mouse reporting, especially in smoke season, and tearing down of two guys that don't deserve to be torn down. Two really good kids, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, two really good kids that want to do nothing but surprise everybody, work hard on the field, go to a team and just get to work. These kids will never be in trouble off the field. And you're sitting here complaining, calling them dumb. What a stupid move. These guys, I can't believe what they're talking about here. Oh my God, what is Shedeur? What, is he not smart? That's what people were saying in the live stream. Just one live stream ago when we broke this news down. Where are you now? That's what I thought. You found out that the little kid on the Little Kid podcast is the one that asked him that question. But you should already know that because I told you on that live stream. But I had to go get it for you, didn't I? I had to go get it for you and embarrass you. I had to go get it for you.
If you choose to play only one position in the NFL or never playing football again.
Oh, if you're on a pony riding through the Sahara Desert and you had to decide which door do you go through, Shedeur? The door where you can never play wide receiver or quarterback, you got to pick one, or the door with 75 seagulls and a buffet of steak dinner for the rest of your life. Did you hear the news? Shedeur wanted to go eat steak and retire from the NFL. And let's pose it. Let's pose a graphic up. This is Shedeur Sanders says he's, quote, never playing football again. Quote, if he can't play wide receiver or cornerback. Upset, worried emoji. And everybody throwing the hate on him. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. You know who I'm talking to in the live chat. You all should be ashamed of yourself. Saints, Shedeur, or New York Giants, who worked him out again, went and did a look over one more time, a little look-see poo. They want to test drive Shedeur again. They did. Jeanty, Denver wants to trade up. Will they have the balls? If not, the Raiders, welcome to the LV Raiders.
Let him cook.
Either way, this man's cooking. Denver, probably one of the best landing spots you could find. LV, gonna be like the Gibbs landing spot. Some will be like, but they don't have, what about? Gibbs is in the most beautiful landing spot. Bijan in Atlanta, it might not be the best landing spot. Yeah, you know, Arthur Smith put a little bump in the road, little speed bump, slowed everything down, but that wasn't because of the actual landing spot and what should have developed and happened. So these are great landing spots. Dial into the show. Where's Denny at? Denny was supposed to call in again. He called in twice while I was getting ready for the show because he doesn't watch. He doesn't know when we're actually live. And we're live at 5 o'clock my time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. Denny, dial into the show.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Anybody else is free to dial in as well. But Denny, we await your phone call, young man. We await your phone call. Dean says, Smitty knows the deal, my only source for football wisdom. Thank you. Appreciate you, my boy. That's the way we roll over here on the channel. My guy a long time says, Prophet, well, get in here more often. We're here every day. Smitty, lesson in session. Appreciate you, Joseph. What about Shedeur? Well, as we said, Shedeur going to, or maybe Travis is responding to somebody else, but Shedeur going to the Saints, or he's going to the New York Giants, in my opinion. I think there's almost no way he falls past the New Orleans Saints at 9 unless Jeanty's there. That's the weird thing. That's the stumble or the fall that could happen if it was to happen. If Jeanty was available for the Saints at 9, which I don't think he will, but I think Denver would aggressively trade it. Like, let's say the Raiders don't take Jeanty at 6. I think Denver gets on the phone with the Jets. They get on the phone with the Panthers. They get on the phone with the Saints. Every time they're on the clock, they get on the phone. If Jeanty was available at 9 and the Saints took him, then Shedeur free falls past 10, 11, 12. Who knows what Miami Mike does, but he probably won't have the courage to do it. So past 13, I don't think Shane Steichen would overlook Shedeur. I don't think he would, but and that's not a place you hear about, but I don't think you'd overlook him. I think they need a QB. I don't think they believe in Danny Dimes. But even if they overlooked him, the Falcons would pass on him. We think. Maybe that's the backup plan for the backup plan. The Cardinals, I mean, honestly, as much as I love where Kyler's head's at, I mean, if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I'm looking around at my team and I'm saying, this is a pretty good, we could maybe make a trade. We did not expect this to happen. Maybe. Who wants Kyler Murray? It would be intriguing to me. As much as I'm excited, I would rather have Shedeur throwing to MSJ than Kyler. And I am excited about Kyler and his newfound attitude, but there's still always going to be a bit of concern. The Bengals, the Seahawks probably would take him. You would think. The Steelers would at this point, if he breached the 11, 12, 13 teen area, you know the Steelers would be on the phone because that's a move up that's not going to cost, the farm. Getting into the top 10 would. Getting into the teens, the 13, the 14, the 12, you wouldn't have to give up the farm. So the Steelers would already probably be in position to draft him, in my opinion. So the Shedeur, but here's what I would do is if I was the Cleveland Browns and I have Hunter at 2, I'm giving up everything I have to. Yes, you're putting a lot on the line given what you just fumbled with Deshaun Watson, trading future picks and making the worst trade in NFL history in conjunction with the worst contract in NFL history. But guess what? You pair Shedeur and Hunter together in Cleveland, and I'm giving you a standing ovation. That's what I'm doing if this is me. If I'm Cleveland, and you don't have to give up like as much as you would if you're getting Shedeur or trading for the 1 or the 2 or the 3. You're talking about giving up a future first rounder, maybe something else, of course, to get into this, like, 14, 15, 16. How many seconds do you have to give? What's it look like? But that's not mortgaging your entire future. It's mortgaging one, first rounder with some seconds or whatever the case may be. Maybe there's a player involved. But Hunter and Shedeur together would be unbelievable. We've talked about that several times. Could be sneaky to happen. Where's Denny? Go ahead, Travis. You're live. Go ahead, Denny. Call in.
Yeah, if Denny calls in, interrupt me because we got to make sure he's good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the Browns should do that, and they could because they have the 33rd pick. So if they gave up like the 33rd pick in next year's first, that might get it done to get them back into the 20s or the 15 range. Yeah,
the
team, gets the first pick of the second round, and they get to get out of the draft that they might not like so much this year.
I mean, bro, I'm telling you,
attractive.
I'm telling you, Shedeur to Hunter would be the most.
And Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, it'd be the most logical
great guy to learn from in terms of running routes and stuff.
I mean, they'd be balling. I don't care what anybody says. The Browns are a good team too. They're actually the one team when you look at this like top, 5, 10 board here, and you say to yourself, like, what team could be a playoff team? The Titans? Hell no. The Browns? Because they are. They are a playoff team. They are. Right now for 2025, they just need that quarterback. You give them Hunter and that quarterback, this is a team that could win a playoff game. Giants, not yet, but if you gave them Shedeur in time, they don't take Shedeur, they have no shot at being a playoff team. The Patriots, they're a sneaky team, but you got to talk about like slipping in a tough division. Like, this is not the division that you're getting in by winning this minimal amount of games and everyone's excited. So it's a tough spot for the Patriots to be in. To grab the wild card, which is the only shot right now, of course, for them, it'd be near impossible. Not their fault. Jaguars, who knows? We got BT. Yeah. You could do anything, but I don't know what the hell. Raiders, they're kind of sneaky as a playoff, like wild card, like fighting chance, but you're not expecting it. The Jets, I mean, I think they're a playoff team. I do, but I think that it's going to be close. I'm not lying. I think it's going to be close again. Tough division. How do you slip in? It's a wild card spot, but this is a team that has the best shot, in my opinion, of that divisional battle. Like, this would be one of the top 2 teams that I think getting the last wild card spot, not the top wild card spot. You got Carolina. They're kind of sneaky. Saints, they're not no matter what, they're not going to the playoffs or winning playoff games, at least. Chicago, we'll see. But in terms of these teams here, the one that stands out the most to me is the Browns. The Browns get Hunter and Shedeur. They're balling right away. So if it's me, if I'm in control of the Cleveland Browns, that's my only play. That's the only thing on my mind all day long. Okay, take Hunter. That's a lock. How the hell? Let's watch this Shedeur thing. Can we get back in? We got to be smart about it. Let's be the smart team for once. Let's be the team that doesn't jump the gun and grab him early, give up the draft capital. If he falls, we'll be the team that comes in. Low cost of entry. Like you said, second rounder this year, early top of round 2 pick, which is essentially the bottom of round 1. You give up a future first rounder.
Yeah, pick 33.
And then you just smash, you smash Shedeur at that pick. I don't know where Denny must have fallen asleep. We had him in our grips. I couldn't answer and talk to him because he, I had to get ready for the show. He always calls like 5 minutes before the show starts, and I'm in the middle of scrambling. So I don't know what's going on with him. I haven't had a conversation with him about anything yet. I haven't said, hey, Denny, what's going on? Are you okay? We're waiting on Denny to call. I don't even think he's watching right now. I think he passed out. He was waiting to call, and he passed out. He's waiting for me to pick up, but I couldn't do it. Denny, you got to call in.
I think. So if we played that out, what pick do you think they'd have to get to? Because Indy could take Shedeur. Besides that, I don't know if anyone else would take it.
Yeah. So, honestly, I think you get on the phone and you're offering this straight down. And the reason you're doing that is because you know you got to do it before 18. So it's either 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. The Colts at 14 are a threat to grab Shedeur for sure. But are they like a lock? I don't know. So, I would try and grab him at 13 personally. Dallas Cowboys 12. I would call the Colts maybe, but I'd be afraid I'd key them into what we're trying to do. And so if I'm the Browns, I'm trying to get that. But if he does slip past the Colts and there's nobody trading into this spot, it's 18. It's Seattle at 18. So you technically, and of course Pittsburgh at 21. If Shedeur were there at 21, they would grab him in a millisecond, and it would be the best pick in the draft outside of Jeanty. Yep. Outside of Jeanty, even Jeanty went number 1. It's still the best value in the draft, best pick in the draft. It's like Jeanty at 1. Wow, what a pick! That's the best pick in the draft. Jeanty, Trey Henderson's one of the best picks in the draft, but Shedeur at 21 would be the best pick in the draft outside of Ashton Jeanty, wherever Jeanty goes.
And Cleveland just has to be, willing to put it on the table and make the best deal because they can. They have picks at the top of like every round. They have the 33rd pick, which is really valuable.
Yeah.
So like you could say, if you call Indianapolis, they could go to Pittsburgh and say, "What will you give us?" Well, Pittsburgh doesn't have a second round pick.
Do you know why?
So Cleveland can make the deal.
Do you know why the Cleveland Browns probably won't? Well, number one, they're a horribly run franchise in many ways.
They're afraid.
They just don't want to make another grand quarterback mistake, and especially move mountains to grab the QB, because then the pressure is on. You move mountains to get this guy. He has to work. If they grab Milroe naturally, then it's kind of like, no one's really watching us right now. So I'm afraid that they're afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid that they're afraid to make a ballsy move, because guess what? Watson's still on their dime. And so they're having to make this move while they're paying Watson. But what they don't understand is this is the Purdy effect. This is the effect of getting that quarterback while the misery is still going on. Everybody will forget the misery. It's the best medicine. It's the antidote. You give the fan base and the NFL critics a rising star quarterback, and he turns into a top 10 quarterback. No one's even opening their mouth about Deshaun Watson. Even if they release him the next offseason, which is what's going to happen. I think Deshaun Watson never plays another starting snap for the Cleveland Browns again. He won't be available for the entirety of the season, and then he's gonna even if he was, they're not gonna activate him. I can almost guarantee that if he was ready in December, it won't activate him. They don't want to go down that road unless they have no quarterback prospects at that moment, and they just want to see. Let's test it out for whatever reason. But it takes balls to do this, and I don't know that the Cleveland Browns have the balls with the chokehold that Deshaun Watson has on them right now. And I got a $10 hauler from BBQ real quickly. He says, don't we want more QBs to be drafted in the first round, therefore pushing more talent to good elite teams in the bottom half of the draft who need a wide receiver or running back producing fantasy gold? We do and we don't. The reason I don't want a guy like Shedeur, if this is what you're asking, to fall is I don't want the doubt to be building up on this. Then naturally it's like he fell for a reason. Look, nobody wanted to take him. But if he fell somewhere like the Pittsburgh Steelers, ultimately it would be a good thing. If he fell to a better team, of course it'd be a good thing. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you fall to 21 or you go at 12 or you go at 3, you go at 21. It's not the end of the world. I think if he fell into round 2, it'd be a whole different story that people were painting. But 21, everybody just be going, I don't know. I think the Steelers got to steal here. And then you start hearing everybody, because the bar gets set low. He's 21 overall. Now the Steelers look like geniuses. Now everybody's talking about how he's got DK Metcalf to throw to. That's about as good as throwing to Travis Hunter, because DK could just grab anything in the radius of him is it's like a Volkswagen. It's just his catch radius is crazy. A VW van. That's his catch radius. He's an unbelievable wide receiver target for any quarterback, especially one that needs to develop and hone in on his accuracy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be interesting. But BBQ, you're right. It falling can absolutely have good and bad, effects to the player, to the surrounding players. But also keep in mind that teams can trade up. Like a good team can still trade up. Like the Browns could trade up for Shedeur from that 33 overall pick, to get Shedeur when they already have Travis Hunter, which is my master plan. If the Browns called me up and said, please give me a blueprint to get us out of this mess, and I would say, I've got a blueprint that will work right now. You can win playoff games this year. And they'd say, what is it? It'd be draft Hunter, trade into the round 1 teen area once if Shedeur falls, and you're a playoff team. You're not only a playoff team, you're winning playoff games. It's the formula. The one quickest turnaround for every team in this top 10, even a better turnaround than the lowly Chicago Bears, who supposedly had the best situation to ever hand a rookie quarterback last year. They crapped the bed harder than any team's ever been granted such a great luxury of the lavish lifestyle that he was a king. They were marching Caleb in on one of those, chairs that everybody carries on their shoulder. They're like, this is the best situation anybody's ever had. Bring in King Caleb. They already crowned him. This is the next Patrick Mahomes. They set him down on the field, and he takes a big shot. So even if Cleveland had Shedeur and Hunter, they're in a much better position than the Chicago Bears with Shedeur and Hunter. But ask a Bears fan that, to be like, you're crazy. Just like they said last year, you're crazy. It's the same, rinse and repeat. What else you got, Travis? And where's Denny? Denny calling.
They really shouldn't have any fear or hesitation, because at the end of the day, Browns fans know what's up. They have, remember that picture that came out with a person in the Browns jersey with all the names taped to it? They've doubled that list. They're going on 35 or 40 QBs aside from Baker, who did anything for him.
Yeah.
And so if they got back in, took Shedeur, and it falls flat on the face, well, yeah, they don't.
Travis, you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Say that last part again.
Hello?
Yeah, say that last part again.
No, I was just saying if the Shedeur thing falls flat on their face, what do they? So they have to wait another year for a good pick, I guess. But they're still not accomplishing anything without him. So you got to take a chance at some point.
Yeah. Hey,
to me, Watson was a dumb decision, but you can't double down off those dumb decisions.
Yeah, and Mike says, come on, Smitty, stop hating on the Bears. Mike, I don't hate on anybody. I just tell you how it is. I tell you how I see it. Am I always right? No. But I tried to tell you how it was last year, and I was hating on the Bears. You see the difference, Mike? Mike, me not stopping hating on the Bears means I don't yet believe. And isn't that what you're here for? Are you here for me to sugarcoat? Oh, wait, I got Bears fans in here. Yeah, the Bears could be okay. I'm excited about the Bears. Or do you want me to tell you what I feel? And what I feel is still the same. The Bears are not run by serious people. The offensive line fixes this offseason could be good. If they draft Jeanty, if you guys are blessed with the opportunity to draft Jeanty, he's going to make the team score. He's going to be as good as he can possibly be, because that's how amazing he is. Doesn't mean they're a playoff team necessarily. And I just hope to God he doesn't go there, because there are some limitation factors that get put in the face of Jeanty in Chicago than anywhere else. But it's so funny to me when people say, Smitty, come on, you're being biased or you're digging your heels in. I'm not. I'm just continuing to tell you how I feel. And whenever what I say doesn't jive with you, Mike, you're going to think I'm digging my heels in because it doesn't jive with what you think. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, I'm all of a sudden hating. If I'm sitting here, I don't know if you were feeling my vibe when I was saying that Shedeur shouldn't be crapped on, that Shedeur shouldn't get all this negativity and hate. And if you agree with that, you were vibing with it. Smitty, talk to him. Tell him the truth, Smitty. The moment I talk about the Bears and you got your little logo here of your little Caleb Williams, we clearly know where you stand. Anything I say negative against Caleb is going to be upsetting to you. And all of a sudden, I'm going to be what? Wrong? I'm going to be hating? I'm not objective because it doesn't jive with what you think? I don't think so, Mike. I wish your organization was run by serious people, but it's not. They're not real football people. They're not. They're no more serious football people than Joe Scheinbox is a GM or Ryan Poles is a actual GM. Okay, let me go over to Gumpy real quick, Travis, and then back to you. And Denny, I don't know where Denny is. Dial into the phone line. Here's the phone line number. Hold on, Gump. There's the line. And we got BBQ dropping 50 gifted memberships. What an 20. Was it BBQ 20? Yeah, 20 gifted memberships by BBQ. Yep. What a monster. What a straight up monster. Appreciate you.
The guy.
Gump, you're live.
Up, Gump.
I just want to kind of piggyback on that. I believe that Pee Wee Herman's running the Chicago Bears right around Lake Michigan in his bicycle laughing with that crazy laugh.
Yeah, maybe Gump. It might be the case.
Bears hat.
Might be the case. Pee Wee Herman might run it better than Ryan Poles. I remember when Ryan Poles came there, they thought he was such a dog. He popped his collar in photos, right, when he had sunglasses and a cigar, and everybody thought he was Tony Soprano immediately in Chicago. They're like, we got a dog. He popped his collar. We got a dog. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
Well, I can't wait to watch the Bears play the Ravens.
Yeah, that will be fun. A fun game. I don't think the Bears stand a chance against the Ravens. Why?
You know why?
Why? I said why.
To come across.
Okay.
I can't wait for Roquan to come across the field and knock the dog poopy out of Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? Why freaking Pee Wee Herman's crying around Lake Michigan on his bicycle?
Yeah, Gump. I can't wait for
that. Was just a fun.
I sure hope Denny calls so he can talk to Gump. I don't know where Denny.
I thought it was fun.
I don't know.
I had too much pink lemonade. What do you got?
Pink lemonade.
And a pink lemonade.
Gump, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at pink lemonade. Do you drink a lot of milk, a lot of warm milk at night? Pink lemonade, warm milk.
I love milk. Well, no, I do like cookies.
I know you like milk. Look, I got a psych degree.
Fairlife milk. It's lactose free.
I got a psych degree. I know you. I know you drink warm milk at night.
I took psychology too. I was one of
the
top students.
You took a psychology class, or you got a psychology degree?
Listen, I'm probably one of the smartest. You ever watch Good Will Hunting, where the guy Robin Williams plays the psych analyst? Yeah, I got.
And
then Damon plays the real smart.
We got it. Yeah, we got it. What about it?
I'm Robin Williams.
You're Robin. Okay.
I'm the real smart. I'm the real smart psych guy.
Okay. You take one class, or did you actually get a degree in psych?
No, I actually was going to be a doctor. I was going.
What happened?
To anatomy well, they wanted me to hand out pharmaceuticals. They put me in a freaking room and they say, "Hey, we can see you can do the work, and you just passed the class. And only 5 people were left in it." I said, "Yeah, I know." And they go, "Well, we're going to send you to Michigan State, and we're going to pay your a free ride, but you're going to have to hand out pharmaceuticals." I said, "I ain't handing out pharmaceuticals."
Okay, all right. Okay, Gump, where do you think?
Then I went to the practice, and the coach of Michigan State said, I told him I wanted to be a walk-on football coach. He told me to go sidelines and try to learn a few things.
And this is the same guy that says he's going to get Calvin Johnson on the show. He says he's
I'm trying to tell you.
You said you could get Calvin Johnson on the show. You said you know him. You said if you ran into
you're going to really eat crow if I do that.
You're not bringing Calvin Johnson on the show. Gump, you bring Calvin Johnson on the show, and I'll let you host an entire show, and I'll be your sidekick for an entire show.
No, I ain't doing that. I just do it for. I couldn't do that. I feel bad if I did something like that.
Gump. Okay, anyway, the guy thinks he's bringing Calvin Johnson on. What would Calvin Johnson say if he ran into you right now?
Laughing.
What would he say? Would he say, Gump? Would he know you by name?
No, I'd tell him how'd the swim pool drill go.
The what?
Then I'd tell him, I says, I seen that Matthew Stafford bought the swim pool. You guys use it?
Oh, didn't you say you gave? Yeah, that's right. You gave him a drill. Was that right?
Yeah, swim pool drill.
So basically, Gump gave Calvin Johnson, he says, a swimming pool drill that made Calvin Johnson a monster. Explain the swimming.
Well, it helped him. I can't tell you the swim pool drill.
Gump, we owe you. You brought us Calvin Johnson. Gump, you brought us.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
What did you do? So was he signing autographs? You said, oh, Calvin, hey, Calvin Johnson, come here for a second.
You really was. Well, Calvin Johnson was sitting there talking to Silent Jim. He couldn't happen. I said, Jim, get Calvin Johnson's autograph. And Silent Jim looked up like Calvin Johnson said no. And Calvin just started laughing. I mean, I'm about ready to pee his pants.
You guys are best friends. At this point in the story, I'm just picturing you got your armor. He wanted to sign an autograph. So there's a rope in between you. Yeah, you guys almost have bunk beds. So there's a rope. There's a rope in between you, okay? And he's signing autographs, and he laughed at you.
No, listen. No, we were there all week, and Silent Jim was stoned out of his mind.
Who's Silent Jim?
He's a hippie. And Silent Jim didn't say a word. Okay. And because Calvin Johnson's really quiet, everybody was watching him. And then Calvin Johnson walked up to us, and the security guy looked at me and Jim, and the security guy looked at Silent Jim and said, "You didn't say a doggone word all week."
Gump, you got to shorten up your stories. Gump, you got to learn how to story tell. If I'm Calvin Johnson, I'm walking away at this point. I'm not friends with you if you can't even talk straight to me about it. I don't know what you're talking about right now. You got to tell quick stories.
I read my chapter.
We're live, Gump. We're live right now. I need you to tell the story properly. Quick. Okay. So he's signing autographs. One guy tells him not to sign or whatever you said. He laughed at you.
He actually
and you became best friends with a rope in between you.
Well, to be honest, I hope Jim didn't corrupt.
This is where you're going off on a tangent. We don't know Jim. We don't know about corrupting Jim. We don't know who Silent Bob is. We're not there, Gump. You aren't explaining this story in a way that anybody understands it. We're losing viewers.
It was crazy. It was the craziest thing.
Okay, so can you real quickly tell me how you told Calvin Johnson about the pool drill? He's signing an autograph for you, and then you said to him what?
Well, no, I didn't. Well, yeah, he did. And I looked at Calvin and says, I see you're struggling out there a little bit.
To Calvin? You said this?
You know, the ball and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I told him, I said, listen, before he became all famous and everything.
Yeah. So you said, come in here, Calvin.
Yeah, he had a little struggle. He had a little struggle.
And you said what to him?
I said, no, I stopped him. I said, Calvin, I see you're struggling a little bit out there. I know something that's going to clean that up.
And what'd he say? And what'd you say to Calvin Johnson?
I said, I'll tell you about the swim pool drill. He goes, you're really going to tell me about the swim pool drill? I said, Calvin, this is going to help you. And then he just blew up from there. Then he says, you got to tell me the swim pool drill. Then he told me, I got to tell him the swim pool drill.
Okay, so you told him, and then his game transformed.
So I had to explain. It took me 20 minutes to explain to him.
So he sat. So Calvin sat there for 20 minutes on the sideline when he was signing you autograph, and he said, "Hold on, let him through the rope," and he just sat there and listened to you for 20 minutes.
Freaking Calvin Johnson was laughing so hard he was about ready to pee his pants.
Gump, get him on the show. All right, I got to move on. Gump, appreciate you.
Listen, if I read it, I don't want anything. I just do it because that wouldn't be right.
Okay. Yeah, Travis, you're right. It definitely took him 20 minutes. You're right. If he did get Calvin's ear for even a second, Calvin's looking at everybody. They're going, "Come on, Calvin, we got to move the autograph line along." He's like, "I can't leave this kid."
That's
he's in the.
I believe for sure.
He's in the middle of talking. I want to walk away from him. Good boy. Pet you on the head.
Wasn't that the same day I was throwing passes to Darius Slay?
Okay. That's where I ended. All right, Gump, appreciate you.
Hey, I dropped that ball right over.
All right, Gump, gotta let you go. Gump, appreciate you. Any final words, real quick? You only get so much of Gump on the show, and I got to get you off the line.
Okay, let's get some glow in the dark merch. Come on.
All right, we'll look into it. Gump, appreciate you. You can call back a little later.
Dark.
I'll give you another I'll give you another 3 minutes later in the show, but there's only so much Gump we can do. I know a lot of people love Gump. He's kind of a fan favorite, especially in the comments later. But we got to keep the show flowing and liquid and moving. So, I don't see any Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter hate in here. Where are haters at? Where are haters at? They tuck their tail between their legs. Freedom, are you here? Tucking your tail between your legs because this report ended up being a little kid asking him a question. Is that where you went? Yeah. Is that where you went, Freedom? You tuck your tail and run, little buddy. Calvin was my Gump. I get to see Calvin walking. Gump, there's Gump. Gump, come here, buddy. Oh my God, man, I've been doing the pool drill ever since you told me about it. Oh man. All right, phone line's open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
He retired. Raiders says Calvin Johnson retired to protect his brain after meeting and having a conversation with Gump. The pool drill probably made him retire early because it ruined his meniscus.
Yeah, he almost drowned.
You almost killed Calvin, bro. In the pool. You almost did you bother to ask him if he could swim? He sent him into the pool, and Calvin almost tore his meniscus up, shortened his career. Unbelievable. Bears fans don't even know who Marion Hampton is. They're like the Niner fans. They only have so much knowledge because they think they're drafting everybody at the top. They're like, yeah, we should take Jeanty at 11. You talk to a Niner fan, they're like, we should take Jeanty at 11 and we can put him behind Christian McCaffrey. And when we need him, we can plug him in. We can run both of them once in a while. Like as if Jeanty's benchable. Like as if if Jeanty was drafted, McCaffrey would be holding his water. But yeah, Bear
tonight alone in the chat. In the chat tonight alone, I've seen that the Niners might be drafting.
Yeah, they might be drafting who? Your phone's cutting out, Travis. Might be drafting who?
Tyler Warren.
Oh, I mean that. Like honestly, it would be good. Interesting for the future. But yeah, if Kittle's got 2 years left, why would you make that pick? It would be. For the immediate future, it'd be a waste of a pick. Like you would just be screwing yourself. But you'd be developing something. But like, you really gonna do that? I mean, not now, Gump.
Even the guys that just make sense. It's like crying wolf almost because everyone who becomes available, that's good.
Yeah, Gump, leave a voicemail.
Kind of assume we're gonna get them.
Yeah, Gump, leave a voicemail. I'll play your voicemail. Leave a voicemail and I'll play it. Where's Denny? Where is Denny? How come Denny hasn't called? Do I have to call Denny? Do I have to call? Now I'll wait for him. Denny, call me. We're sitting here waiting for you. Who else is on the phone line? I think I had one person there and they hung up because they were waiting too long to the Gump escapades. But Gump, talk to us on speaker while he's microwaving his TV dinner, and also drinking his warm glass of milk with his lemonade. He had a little too much pink lemonade. All right, let's add this caller. Hold on 1 second, Travis. All right, you're on the line. Who is this? Where are you calling from? 209. What's your name and where are you calling from?
What's going on, you guys? This is Blue Virus from Cali.
What's up, Blue? What can I do for you?
Oh, nothing much. You said call in, so I just called in. I'm just playing. Yeah. No, I'm just calling because I've been listening to you for about a month now.
Attaboy.
I just thought it'd be neat to call.
I'm glad you found us.
Yeah. Well,
you believe?
No, definitely. I think you're freaking off the hook. I think you guys are. What you guys say on here is pretty cool, man. You're pretty knowledgeable, man. You said you 20 years experience of fantasy football.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Appreciate that, by the way. What do you think is going to happen in this draft? Where does Shedeur go? Where does Jeanty go?
Jeanty definitely goes to the Raiders or the Browns or the Bears, and then Shedeur.
Wait, so what? Wait, who?
Snore. The quarterback. Snore.
Snore.
My bad, you guys.
Manure. What? Wait, say it again.
It's new. Snore.
I love how you can't even. I love how it's slowing you down. Like
I can't even pronounce it.
You can't even. You try it one more time. It makes you say it twice.
And snare. Snore. Whatever.
All right, hold on. Let me merge Bruce in. Hold on. Hang right there. Oh man, some people, man, they crack me up in ways I can't explain. If whoever's got the show on the background, please mute it. Let me go back to. I'm sorry, Blue. Let's go back to Blue real quick. His name is Shedeur.
Shedeur.
Yeah, no, Shedeur.
Shedeur.
Pam. Pan or Pan? Pam? No, Shedeur. Like do like doer. Shedeur. There you go.
Shedeur.
There you go. Not s'mores or shmoring. Where's Smorgasbord going? Where'd you say he was going?
I say he'll go to New York or the Steelers.
Okay, is that Blue talking? No. Okay. Anyway, what else can I do for you, Blue?
So yeah, I'm changing my lead. I have a 12-man lead. I am the commissioner. This will be my first year having a keeper lead.
All right.
So I think we're gonna have a 2. So yeah, it was just questions about that. If I make it like that, who should I go and target for my keepers?
Okay, who do you have? Like, give me the scenario.
So my list will be Herbert. Let me go. Shoot. Should have been prepared.
Here, yeah, why don't you prepare for that? So this is a keeper league. You want me to pick the keepers. Don't give me a bunch of guys I don't need to decide between. Give me the top guys. Give me the parameters. I'll be right back for you, Blue. So prepare for that. Mute yourself if you could. I'll come back around. Let me go to 731 caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Colby, calling from Tennessee.
What's up, Colby? What can I do for you, pal? You're live.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think the chances are of the Saints moving up this year with all this Derek Carr news and everything coming out? I know they're hurting a quarterback. I don't think they can roll Rattler out for their fan base. What do you think about moving up and trying to get Shedeur, or you think they might get set where they're at and grab him there?
Yeah, so what I said on the earlier show is there's almost no need to move up. Like, you're either going to get him at 9 or he's going 3. In the current vibe in the NFL, I disagree with it. I'm not saying that I'm predicting the Giants to do the right thing, but the right thing is to take Shedeur. It's a great move. But if they don't take him, then Patriots at 4 don't take him, Jags at 5 don't take him, Raiders at 6 don't take him, Jets at 7 don't take him, Carolina at 8 doesn't take him. So you're either trading with the New York Giants because you think they're going to take him, or you're not. And why do it if you're literally giving up a future first rounder minimum to move from 9 to 3 overall? So it doesn't make any sense. So they're literally just hoping he falls. If not, bro, wouldn't surprise me if they took Jackson Dart at 9 or I'm not saying it's the right move. I don't like it. I think it's a stupid move. I don't think Jackson Dart. No offense, Sick Nasty. I know you're in the building. But that's about as ridiculous to me as forcing J.J. McCarthy as high as J.J. McCarthy was forced. I'm not a huge believer in J.J. McCarthy. Never was as a prospect. And he's still a prospect to me because he got injured right away, didn't develop, so he's still like a rookie in my mind. And I like him, but he didn't deserve to go as high as he did. Putting Dart at 9 is more ridiculous than that, in my opinion. I think it's ridiculous. I think Jalen Milroe deserves to go before Jackson Dart. I think Jalen Milroe at 21 will be a great pick, and Jackson Dart at 9 will not be. And that's even reaching on Jalen Milroe at 21. You probably won't have to do that. I'm just trying to emphasize. But I don't know what the Saints are going to do, man. The Saints remind me a lot of the Chicago Bears. You know, a lot of talent. There's definitely reasons to be excited as a fan because there's talent there. But both organizations appear to be run by non-serious football people. I don't know. Hopefully things change.
Yeah.
Moore's interesting. Obviously, you know, I think he's a talent and he'll probably construct the best roster he can. But keep in mind, if he doesn't get his quarterback, Moore will not be good. He will not be a good coach. He can't be. So if he doesn't get Shedeur at 9, he's screwed. How is he going to develop anything? Yeah. He's going to look awful. I mean, it was a kind of a dumb location to go to.
Guy.
What?
Yeah, I really like Olave, so, you know, I'd like to see him have a quarterback. I'd like to see Olave stay healthy and be relevant.
I like Olave.
Fantasy, you know.
I like Olave too, but he's got to stay healthy. And the concussions, he's had 4 NFL concussions, boy. That's a lot.
Yeah.
4 NFL concussions, my man. 4 NFL concussions that we know of. You know, I'm not saying that he can't overcome that. I'm just saying you give him hospital ball quarterbacks, you tell me. You know, Olave's better off sitting out the year than he is going in there and having hospital balls thrown to him. You know, Rattler, I as much as I liked Rattler a little bit last year, just to give a test drive, not to where I was like, this is the guy. He's going to be the guy. I wasn't, you know, like JD5, we told you, not you specifically, but this guy Rattler, it was kind of like, hey, I'm kind of interested. How's this going to look? It's going to be hospital ball city. And you don't throw hospital balls up to a lot. Hey, Olave, catch this. Yeah. Running downfield. Boom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give me Shedeur at 9, and then I think you got a shot, my boy. If the Saints are your team, they sound like they're your team. You get Shedeur at 9, you've got a shot at this thing getting turned around. If Jeanty were to fall, you take Jeanty, you don't even hesitate, and you build around that for next year. You go and get, you know, Milroe in round 2 if you're lucky enough. If you got Milroe and Jeanty, I'd be a Saints fan all of a sudden. You know, I'd definitely be a proponent of their turnaround, but I don't think they're that wise right now anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see, bro.
I mean, I'm a Titans guy, but I'm interested to see how it all plays out. You know, I'm from Tennessee, so I'm a Titans guy. I'm looking forward to Cam Ward, seeing what we got, but
yeah, he's good.
You know,
I mean,
I'm an NFL guy too.
He's good. It's just
college ball. You watch Tennessee.
Travis wants to know if you watch Tennessee football.
Yeah, balls. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about the quarterback right now, Nico, with the NIL stuff?
Yeah, I think that was just. I mean, I'm honestly glad we moved on. I mean, I think Heupel, he set a precedent. It's like, hey, if you're not here for the team, then, you know, go find somewhere you're happy, where you want to go. I think he's done a pretty good job recruiting. I think we're going to be good. We're a good program. Had some down years, obviously, but
all right.
We've also had some good years.
Just to hear from someone down there, you know, their opinion of it.
Yeah.
You hear all different sides of it. So.
All right, my man. Call in anytime, okay? Yeah. Appreciate you. All right.
Appreciate you, Smitty.
Yep. Bruce, you're live.
Hey, Smitty.
Yo.
I know you went live on this earlier. I missed it, though. But do you think Hunter was just saying something out of a, basic question and people are taking it out of context?
Bruce, how have you not, I mean, how do you not understand what I'm saying by now? You know I love you. You know I love you, Bruce. But I like my whole intro for 15, 20 minutes. I went on and on both shows about how this kid asked him a hypothetical question. Hunter didn't do anything. He was asked a hypothetical fun question by a kid that doesn't have armpit hair. And the kid said, hey, let me ask you a crazy question. If you couldn't play football as a wide receiver and a DB, you had to pick one or not play football at all, what would you choose? We went over that, Bruce. That's how he was asked the question. He was asked a multiple choice question with 2 answers. And he gave his answer to the little kid that probably doesn't look like he has armpit hair. And everybody's taking it as if Shedeur announced it. This is what we went over for the whole entire show, Brucey. He didn't have a single thing to do with this question. He just answered it honestly. He's not a little kid. I guess he's a writer. Poor guy. He's probably 23 years old. He looks like a little kid. He asked him a question on what looked like his little podcast. He said, let me ask you the question. Bruce, let me play it for you. Or actually, no.
All right.
Let's move on. Anyway, yes, Shedeur did not, I'm sorry, Travis Hunter did not volunteer this information as if he was talking to the teams. Go watch the beginning of the show to catch up on that. I explain it in tremendous detail. I'm not mad at you, Bruce. It's just like, it's wild to me that anybody's still questioning it, at all. Even my boy Brucey.
Oh, I'm not questioning it. The only thing I question is, and I get a lot of heat for this. I say he makes a better receiver than DB, but I get a lot of heat because people are like, no, he's going to be a better DB than receiver. And I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be a top 5 receiver.
He's a much better receiver than he is a DB. The crazy part is people just want him to fail. And you got to understand, when people start valuing his receiving ability, they're judging him as a part-time wide receiver too. When they're like, is he going to be a better receiver or cornerback? A lot of people's answer is thinking that he's playing halftime for both. So they say, well, it'd be better DB because every play is separate. Every play is compartmentalized. It's like you're guarding him, boom, it's over. Whereas a receiver, there's a progression. There's, how many opportunities are you getting? How much do you learn if you're only on the field halftime? And so people are making their determination without even really walking through the entire thing. You want the ball in his hands. Not to mention, you get paid way more to be a receiver. You think his second father, Deion Sanders, isn't literally leaning in his ear going, you want to make sure you are a receiver more than anything because it will get you paid. You'll be getting paid massive amounts of money. Double, triple the amount of money potentially by being a wide receiver. He's not all about money. He wants to play both sides of the football. The kid's got heart of gold, and people want to rip him apart. We're talking about Travis Hunter right now, for those that don't know. Let me see if I can get the Hunter graphic up just so everyone knows what we're dealing with here. But he's got a heart of gold, and the fact that people are saying anything negative about him at all. And Bruce, the fact that I had 2 shows on it, and you walk into my show and say, do you think he meant it in a way? Well, what do you mean, Bruce? We talked about it for freaking 3 hours straight. He was literally baited by a little kid that asked him a multiple choice question. He said, if you couldn't play football again, or you had to play one position, how passionate are you about playing both positions? And he goes, I would never play football again. I'd get on the pony and I'd ride into the Sahara Desert and I'd never play football again. You like that answer, Sonny boy? And everybody's like, oh, alert, alert, alert. Bleacher Report, alert. Travis Hunter says he'll never play football again. I'm a diva. If I can't play both positions, don't draft me. And this little kid baited him. Wild to me. Just wild. All right, what else you got, Bruce? I'm not mad at you. You know that. Where's Denny?
I'd hope not. Did you see that? I keep bringing him up, but I like him. Did you see Nick Chubb posting him squatting? Like, it was like, I don't know what it was, like 600 pounds or something.
He does it every offseason. He does it every offseason. It doesn't mean anything. He did the same thing last offseason. Doesn't mean a thing. It's impressive, but that doesn't make you play football. Unfortunately, it doesn't do a single thing. So, Nick Chubb had the worst 2 knee injuries known to man, essentially. There are no 2 knee injuries you can find on video footage that are worse than the 2 knee injuries that this man suffered. And he didn't show enough burst last year. You lose that step as you get older. You lose that step as your knee gets mangled. He had surgeries to put his knee back together. And there's just there's little hope. The only thing he could fall into is a role where he could score touchdowns and have like 400 yards and like 6 touchdowns, 7, like, and just kind of fall into the end zone. That's the only thing that he could do. Nothing else. There's no other hope. There's just not. And BBQ with a super chat. Counting on Arch for next year is a bad strategy. He will stay. He could stay in school. That's another thing. I don't think teams are banking on it necessarily, but they're hopeful, I think, in some cases. But yeah, Arch might not come right out because he only has this 1 year to really. I mean, he could really explode, but you got to remember how much money these kids can make now. So sometimes staying and upping your NFL value, staying in college. I mean, Archer's only going to get better. I don't think he's worried about, well, what if I step off and drop off? I don't think that's going to be the case, but it depends on how good he is. If he proves everything he needs to prove to be the number 1 overall pick, Arch might also have that mentality of, I've been waiting this long, and I want to get to the pros, and I've already got, he already feels like he's been delayed by other decisions that people are making in front of him. Like the fact that Arch didn't start after he came in and proved himself at Ewers wasn't good. Not compared to Arch. It was ridiculous. So I think maybe he's almost kind of done in a sense. If he explodes, he'll be like, I want to get to the pros. That's where I belong. I don't know. You never know. He could have a lot of fun too. Sometimes these guys have a lot of fun playing in college and they're like, I want to experience it more. So tough to know. We don't know what he's thinking. But, yeah, counting on it, you're right, is not the best approach for a team because he could definitely stay another year. What is your take on Indy QB, AR5, or Danny Dimes, or neither? I mean, I think if anybody thinks Danny Dimes is holding off AR5, and if anybody thinks AR5 is holding off Danny Dimes, I think you're both crazy. I mean, someone's going to be in, then then they're going to get replaced by the other. And, I'm hopeful AR5 can outperform Danny Dimes. I really am. I don't think Dimes is a great quarterback on any level. I'm not saying AR5 is, but at least he has some wiggle room to improve. We already know what Danny Dimes is. He is what he is. I don't think Dimes is going to be good. I think it's just the most laughable quarterback scenario. This whole AR5 is getting replaced. He might. I'm not saying he won't, that he'll start week 1, but Danny Dimes is not a good quarterback. There's just no way up. That's on my mind. They need to go get Shedeur. The starting quarterback 3 years from today, 2 years from today is probably not on the roster right now in Indy, unfortunately. And that Shane Steichen will probably get fired.
Personally, for me, I don't know how you felt, Smitty, but when they said they were bringing in quarterback competition for AR5 and it ended up being Danny Dimes, I just shook my head and said, oh man. I said, this is stupid.
Yeah.
This is in competition.
Brandon says redraft pick trade. Would you give up the 2nd overall to get 10 overall and the 3rd rounder? So 37 overall. That's a tough one because you're giving up like Bijan or Gibbs, or you could say if it's a wide receiver heavy league, you're giving up JJ or whoever. But at the end of the day, I mean, you give me even Jeanty at 10, and then you give me Kyron or whoever can fall to that 37 pick, or even if it's a JD5 or a Jalen Hurts or a Josh Allen. Josh Allen and Jeanty, JD5 and Jeanty crushes just Bijan or Gibbs, unfortunately. So at the end of the day, Brandon, if you're trading away the 2 to get 10 and 37, I probably take that. That's a pretty damn good trade. I like that a lot. As long as you're not leaving something out and giving up, something else. So my 1 for his 1 and 3, yeah. Don't throw anything else in, or like he'll be like, okay, how about you give me your 5th or 6th round? Don't do that. Keep it interesting like that, and then I like it for sure. All right, Bruce. Anything else before I let you go? Appreciate you.
No, that's it, Smitty.
All right, I ain't mad at you.
Appreciate you.
I love you, pal. All right, later.
All right, love you too.
I love you too. Bye. All right, Blue. Do you have your question yet, Blue? Let's keep it snappy.
No, actually, I'm. Yeah, I just.
Still not ready.
Will be...
Blue's still not ready. Blue, you've had about 30 minutes to get ready.
I was ready and I got sidetracked, my guy.
Okay. You want me to come back to you?
Yeah, I can give me back to 1 minute. 1 minute.
All right, Blue, we'll come back to you. Mute yourself. We'll come back to you. All right, Travis, what else you got?
Yeah.
This show,
It's actually a world
where
the Cardinals would move on from Tyler this year. Or you think they're all in with him?
They're all in. They've said it for 1,000%.
Without getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think they're. And as much as I the other day, and I still do support Kyler's, change in behavior, potentially leading to some MHJ production. You still heard me say not one time that I think the Cardinals are going to go far deep into the playoffs. I would trade on the spec of Shedeur becoming special and feeding MHJ properly. Feeding him kind of like, he fed, Travis Hunter. Give me Shedeur in Arizona, especially if you can trade Kyler for something substantial and save the money on Kyler's deal. So it would only make sense for the Cardinals if Shedeur fell to 16 for the Cardinals to explore that, but I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I'm just telling you what I would do. I would explore that. I would take Shedeur at 16. I would trade Kyler Murray. There are plenty of teams that would take him. Plenty of teams that would take him. You might even get more than you think. I don't think this might be something where you could, you could get a future first. I mean, you'd want something now, but you could probably get a future first rounder for him. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't. There are teams that desperately need a QB. Kyler to the New Orleans Saints. Kyler to the New York Giants. Kyler to the Cleveland Browns. Kyler to.
I love the idea of the Vikings last year, but they probably wouldn't do that now with McCarthy.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. I'm just telling you, I would.
Right.
Okay, let's see here. We got one more caller, and then I'll go back to Blue when he's ready. Let's see here. You're live on the show. What is your name, pal? Calling from the 770. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Red from Georgia.
Red from Georgia. What's up, my boy, Red? I keep forgetting to add you into the phone line.
What are you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Red, let me see.
You good, man?
I'll add you next time I think of it here. Red, what can I do for you?
Yeah, man, I got a question for you. Do you think Milroe can go before Sanders in the draft?
No, I don't think so. Hold on one second, Red. Hold on there. We got Denny calling in on the line, Red. Hold on, Red. Red, I'll come right back to you. Denny, are you there? Can you hear me, Denny?
Denny, there.
You're very faint.
Welcome back.
We can barely hear you.
You hear me?
No, you're really faint. Can you talk louder or?
Smitty, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear now, Denny. What's going on, my boy? What is going on? Where have you been?
Where are you, Smitty? And I'm so sorry. I cannot speak, cannot think the night. That's a good song.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Definitely, I think you need to sing something to me. I don't even feel like I'm ready to fully forgive you yet. Denny, you did it again. You went onto my comments on my videos. You said, Smitty blocked me. Smitty sucks. You didn't even spell it right. You wrote Smitty sucks. You said such as. Smitty sucks on my comments. Because why? Did you try to call?
No,
did you try to call the old
somebody
number?
Hacked my account.
You what? You what?
No, somebody hacked my account.
No,
they said that.
No, they didn't, Denny. Did you call the old number and you thought I changed the number or I didn't change the number? Is that what happened? Or do you not remember?
I think you changed the whole number. I actually do think that sometimes. Sometimes I do.
I've only changed the number.
What did I go wrong?
By saying Smitty sucks in my comments again for the second time. You was the second time you gone off on me, Denny. I'll forgive you, but take some accountability here. You did start saying I'm sorry. You sung the song. I appreciate that, but let's not come up with excuses. Let's just be honest and upfront about it. You spilled the milk at Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm just asking you to explain it.
All right, this is what happened. You changed your number. I couldn't get a hold of you. And, I was on the outside looking in. Why wouldn't I feel like that?
Because Denny, you'd already called in. You had already called. You'd already called into the new line several times. Remember the Purdy voicemail you left? The one where you said, Purdy sucks. Purdy sucks. You left that on the new line.
Yeah, but I got...
Mm-hmm.
Did that hurt your feelings?
No, I actually, it's fine. It doesn't bother me. I just want to know what's going on in your head. All right, Denny, all forgiven. Give me one more. Give me one more. I'm sorry. Give me one more try by Timmy T, and then it's all forgiven. Until the next time.
One more what?
One more try. I didn't know how much. Go. Timmy T.
Smitty, give me one more try. I'm sorry that I said I hate you. Smitty, give me one more try. I don't know what I was. It's kind of a good song. Mm-hmm. You like that song more than I do. I really don't like
He's
that.
Still alive. Timmy T. All right. Hey, Denny.
Here's the one I wanted to sing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say, here's my apologies. Smitty, where are you? And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that Brees all sucks so bad.
Whoa.
And it says new draft him. And
whoa. Whoa. All right, Denny, what do you think about Travis Hunter? Where's Travis Hunter going?
4? Probably 4.
No, where so you think he's going to the Patriots? 4? Okay. I don't think he falls past.
If I was the Patriots, I would just... Why would I take... I'd trade it down to New Orleans. Let them take it, right, Smitty?
So what are you taking?
And then give me a second. Give me another third or something, right, Smitty?
Third for trading down from 4 to 9? No, you need more than that. Look, Denny, I don't think you trade down from this pick. The Patriots are capable of it, but Hunter's probably not going to fall. If Hunter doesn't go 2, the Giants are going to take him at 3. He's the can't miss of this draft. Everyone knows it except for, the haters out there. You know who you are. You know who you are. All you haters in chat right now. There's 3 or 4 of you in here. You know you hate Travis Hunter. You put it out on the screen. You can't stand him. You started running narratives about him that weren't true. Only those haters, and they're not decision makers. They don't even know football. They don't even know college football. Anybody that hates Travis Hunter or clowns on Travis Hunter, you know who you are. You don't even know college football. It's not your fault, but you don't know. This is a guy that is a can't miss. I don't think the Giants take that chance and pass on him if he's there. But I don't think the Browns pass on him either. Because the Browns are looking for that one player that can't miss because they've missed so hard on Deshaun Watson. They need a win. I think they know that no matter what, Hunter's a win.
Smitty, I know it's not the Patriots show, and I try to turn into that sometimes. But I really want to talk about the Pats pick, and I really want to I really want to sell that pick down. I want some more.
All right. So who do you want the Patriots to draft?
I want an offensive left tackle. You know how that is to get? I want that. So let's just sell it down to New Orleans.
Okay.
Let them get their thing, and we'll give you.
He wants O-line.
Give you that.
He wants O-line. Travis, what do you think of that? By the way, Travis is on the phone. Travis, what do you think of that? Sell the 4 pick to go down and get an O-line, but you're going to need more than a third rounder, Denny. You got to ask for more than that.
Well, if Hunter or Carter isn't there at 4, then I want to trade it out too, because I don't think anyone else is worth taking it for. So, if they can get, I don't know, you need at least an.
You're cutting out, Travis.
Cleveland.
They cut them out. I still love them.
Maybe a first or a second back.
Yeah, I mean, look, Denny, that's almost a first rounder. That pick is huge, But to Travis's point, if Hunter, Ward, and Carter are all gone, maybe that's not the price tag changes. Even though it is a top 4 pick, it's a different top 4 pick. Hard to say. But yeah, because you might not be able to. It's hard to know what you're going to get on that move down. Then maybe there's only a second rounder. I don't know. But
Smitty.
Yeah.
I know I'm late on the thing. I haven't been in for a while, but I don't know how he feels about it. But oh man, I hated that Milton trade. I know it's not the Patriots show, but
I told you.
You know, I haven't talked to you for a minute and kind of wanted to talk to you about that.
I told you about Milton. I told you he's a star, and the Patriots knew what they were getting, but then they didn't know what they were trading. It was just the weirdest thing in the world. It's kind of like you go out, you find a pot of gold. You were the only one that saw it, really. And then you just throw it away. You just walk and set the pot of gold on the street corner the next year and just get rid of it. I don't understand why the Patriots did it out of fear that his shadow would cast such a big shadow over there in that QB room that it would be a problem. But you got to have balls of steel as a coaching staff to say, if Milton's shadow makes May crumble, then May wasn't him anyway. That's the kind of mindset a coach needs.
Scary.
The fact that you got worried as a worried William and traded away a quarterback that might be so good that his shadow is going to become a problem. You had no confidence in Drake May. You know who doesn't do that? Play those games, those reindeer games? Atlanta. Because Atlanta was not scared about what Penix Jr. was going to do to Kirk Cousins, and they encouraged it. They actually, in the very beginning of the offseason, you remember Penix Jr. and Cousins were splitting reps 50-50. They weren't hiding Penix away and trying to make sure he didn't create a problem or any animosity. They invited it. If Penix is going to take his job, then take it. If Milton's going to take May's job, then take it. You got a good problem to have. This is a Rivers Breeze situation at that point if it does become that. So, yeah, it was an absolute stupid move by the Patriots. Just dumb. And not to mention, they didn't even get the draft pick back that they took him in the 6th round, and they did a 5-7 swap. What do you? It's not even equivalent.
Who made that word? It's almost as bad as
Denny, you're muffled again. We can barely hear you. You went away from the phone or something.
Okay, speakerphone ain't working good.
Yeah, go.
That Cousins situation. That when they gave him all that money, and then they drafted that. Oh my God! I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Is that?
Well, keep in mind, Kirk Cousins has a no trade clause, and Kirk Cousins has said, he's made it pretty well known that he's not going to accept a trade until the draft is complete. So anybody that thinks, like Ron Navy called in last night, or today, I forget if it was today or last night. And I think it might have been today.
Ron Navy.
Yeah, and he said, hey, what if the Steelers, trade on draft day for Kirk Cousins? That can't happen because Kirk has already said he's not going to fall into that trap again and go to a team on draft day and have them draft Milroe in round 2 or 3 or something like that. So Kirk Cousins is waiting until the draft is over, and then he knows the lay of the land, and he knows what teams don't even have a backup quarterback, and he can say, that's where I want to go, and he'll get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so Smitty, let me ask you a quick question. So what's Aaron Rodgers going to do? Is he going to go to the Steelers? Like, do the Steelers even want him?
Denny, I went.
What's happening to Aaron Rodgers?
Jeez.
Are you a fan of Aaron Rodgers?
I'm
how do you
growing.
feel about this?
Was that loud or what? Oh God, Blue left. I think Blue left. Blue, no. Oh, Blue, you're still here. Blue, you're still here.
Oh,
okay, good.
I'm still here.
I don't know who is it that left. I think it was always Red. Red, call back. Red's always the one that hangs up the quickest too. Red, call back. I'll answer your question. Do I think Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler? I think 50%. Yes, 50%. I don't know. He's taken a long time. and I don't know what in the hell is going on with them, but all I know is I went to Disneyland, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, thinking that, it's going to break. As soon as I get there, I'm going to have to go live from Disneyland inside the park next to Mickey Mouse. And I'm going to have to do a live stream on Aaron Rodgers. And it's been like 3 weeks since I've been back. He still hasn't announced it. Red, call in again real quickly, please. Let me go to Blue real quick. Denny, be quiet real quickly if you could. Blue, give me your scenario real quick. Are you ready yet?
All right, yeah, I'm ready. So,
Okay, go.
yeah, Turbert, it'd be Dallas Cowboys defense, and then Kamara, or the
Kamara?
wide receiver that Buffalo picked up, CeeDee Lamb's cousin.
That's not Kamara, though. Huh? You talking
Today, Junior.
You talking about Coleman?
Today, Junior.
Yeah, Coleman.
You said Kamara. Okay.
I know, I said the wrong. I
Hey. Yeah, okay. No problem. So these are only 3 keepers?
Those are.
What happened?
Is there anything I can't keep above the 4th round, and then my waivers I can keep on my waivers?
And these are the best options, or that you have?
Yeah, because I wasn't prepared because we just made it a keeper, and everyone decided because everyone's coming back from the same year, and everyone's the same roster from last year. We weren't prepared for the keepers for last year, but everyone voted on having the same.
Blue wasn't
players from
prepared?
last year and just kind of continue from that.
Blue, I'm
But
shocked.
I don't have to keep these keepers.
Blue, I'm
either.
shocked you weren't prepared for this draft. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, I would probably
No, I
say,
wasn't.
yeah. You weren't prepared for the call. You weren't prepared.
Superflex, right?
We're gonna, hey Blue, I'm gonna make it my mission this year to get you prepared for something. We're gonna finally have you prepared and on your way. Let's see.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna,
haven't won a lead. I've played in 8 years and I haven't won one.
yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna get you there. Herbs is this is a 1 QB, I assume. It's not a super flex, right?
Yeah, it's a 1 QB.
Yeah.
2
I
flex,
mean,
or
look,
1 flex.
what's Herbs gonna cost you? What's the round cost of this?
He's free. He's my free agency.
Okay,
That's why
so
I
you
kinda
just
threw
get
him
to
my
keep
first.
him no
That's
matter
number
what?
one, I think.
And how many keepers do you get? 3, 2,
Yeah,
1?
I think I get to keep him 2.
2. Okay. And Coleman's free as well, and Dallas is free. These are only options. Are you sure? Can you just comb through your team real quick? Read as fast as you can. Maybe you got to take.
Well, I got Zach Ertz. I got
Maybe you got a Bigsby or something.
Isaiah Davis, Dak Prescott. I got Josh Jacobs, Marvin Harrison. But those are guys who are 2nd and 3rd. So
okay, yeah, no.
I can't get those guys because
Oh, hold on. Let me get Red on the phone. Just hang right there. Hang right there. All right. Let me merge Red in. Red. I'm going to come to you right after I finish with Blue here. Just hang right there, Red. Don't go anywhere. Okay. So keep reading your team, bro. You had read the guys you can keep.
All right, Jake Ferguson.
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
Shut up, Danny.
Alec Madison, Zach Ertz, Bateman,
saving my mind.
Isaiah Davis, and then Arizona's defense.
Oh, that's a rough.
I love you. I
So,
gotta go.
all right, Denny, Denny, save the number. Okay, save the number for God's sake. Just save the damn number. Denny, we'll see you later.
Okay.
I'm yeah. Thank you, pal. All right. Dak Prescott, even though it's a 1 QB league, he's free too.
Yeah, he'll be free too.
You know, quite honestly, man, I don't know. Am I wrong here, Travis? Coleman, you could just draft him back at the end of the draft. Dallas, who cares? I mean, you could draft. I'd almost say if you're keeping 2 guys and it costs you nothing, give me the 2 quarterbacks, and I kind of see how the draft goes, because these are 2 really good double quarterback option where you're holding either one and one of them's your starter, and you just kind of pile drive through the running back, wide receiver, and tight end position in the draft. Maybe you don't. Maybe you let. I just think that this is not. If it costs you nothing, those are probably the 2 players. Coleman, you can draft back.
I like the strategy. I guess I would just. But my only hesitation on not keeping Coleman is he is free, and what if he is the guy?
Yeah, I just think you're gonna draft him. You're gonna draft him later than Dak and Herbs, though. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You could keep. I'd probably keep I don't know. Do you like Dak or Herbs better? That's why I kind of keep both of them. But
I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I like Dak better.
Well, I was asking Travis, but Travis, would you keep
Oh,
Dak
my
or
bad, my
Herbs?
bad,
No,
my
you're fine. Blue, don't worry about it. We're gonna get you there. We're gonna get you to the finish line. Herbs. Herbert.
He's going to put up 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. So I'd roll the dice on it.
Herbert.
But
Herbert.
Would you say you're cutting out? You're cutting out, Travis.
So I'll put him on my list. Number one.
Dak. I
Dak.
said Dak.
Yeah.
Dak goes to Dak. Okay, Dak.
Yeah, I probably, if I had to keep a quarterback, it would be Dak, even though the value of Herbs is probably higher, but I don't care. I would keep both quarterbacks if it's me. You can draft Coleman back at the end of the draft, or wherever his ADP is.
I like that idea.
Keep both your
Quarterback.
QBs.
Yeah.
You don't have a
Just
lot of
do
good
that.
options. I was hoping you had a Tank Bigsby or you had a Charbonnet, and you just weren't really thinking through that they were the better keeper, but it sounds like you don't. I would say, is there a free?
Decided that I thought we were going to redraft this year and have our keepers for next year.
You got to work on being
We're all
prepared.
coming back. All of us are coming back.
You got to work on being prepared this year. That's going to be my goal for you. Do you struggle with being prepared, like in life, in general? You kind of fly by this.
I'm one of those guys last minute kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, you putting your hat on, you throwing the shirt on late. You're running late for the dinner. We're gonna get you prepared and organized, bro.
Yep.
You got this. We'll get you. Make sure you stay with the show. The Moon Man, Mars Man, Saturn Man. We'll get it. Call in anytime. Let me go over to Red. Call in anytime, Blue. All right, we'll get you prepared this year. All right, later, bro.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. Thank you.
All right, Red, you're live. Go ahead, Red.
I'm about laughing, but I'm smoking some chicken out here. My timer went off, and I was flipping them.
No problem.
Yeah, no, man. I think Milroe's a better quarterback than old Sanders. Do you look at competition-wise? I mean, hell, if he wasn't playing for his daddy, he wouldn't have been a starter anyways.
Well,
so, I mean,
yeah. Keep in mind, I'm very, very high on Milroe, and if Milroe goes to the right spot, like Pittsburgh, and let's say Shedeur goes to the Saints, Milroe could outscore Shedeur for sure.
that's what I'm saying, man. He's bigger, he's faster. I mean, stats alone. I mean, last year they had a rough season, of course, 100%. But Alabama didn't have the offensive line they've always had either. They didn't have the scheme, the defense, and nothing.
Yeah.
And I just think Milroe. You look at him 2 years ago playing, to now, the kid. I mean, what was the completion rate? Was what 65%? Completion. He had to go 2,000 yards.
Yeah, you preaching to the choir. You don't have to convince me in Milroe. I love Milroe. You rush for this is what I always say about Milroe. People that want to say, "Oh, he's AR5 though. He didn't have a lot of passing yards." When you run for 700 plus yards and 20 plus rushing touchdowns in a single season, you don't need to throw as much because you've already gotten into the end zone. You know what I mean? Like if you run in a touchdown, you don't have the ball anymore. So you get the ball.
A great value Lamar.
You get the ball back. You run another touchdown in. You don't have the ball anymore. Like of course you're not going to have these 4,000 yards and 30 touchdown passing stats because you end up in the end zone when you're on the ground. And just because he's a great runner doesn't mean he isn't a good quarterback. No, like I said, Milroe is one of my favorite picks for the Steelers. Milroe in a great spot versus Shedeur in a bad spot, Milroe beats him. But if Shedeur goes to New York to play with neighbors in Dayball and Milroe goes somewhere cloudy, then of course it's not it just depends on the landing spot.
I just feel like I feel like honestly that Sanders is going to get exposed in the NFL. If he doesn't go somewhere with a good offensive line, but that's a bad scenario. That's a bad, like I've said, if he goes to a bad location, that's a real scenario though. You know what I mean? That's a fact. That's an actual factual thing. You look at Bryce Young in Carolina.
I understand that. His
first season.
That's what we're saying though. We've been saying that all along. If Sanders goes to a good spot, he'll probably be pretty damn good. If he goes to a bad spot, it's unfortunate. That happens to quarterbacks all the time. But that's certainly a scenario. But Ward in Tennessee versus Sanders in New York, Sanders will outscore him. It's not saying in time Ward can't get better and get talent, but I'm saying as a rookie, Sanders is going to shine in New York. If Sanders goes somewhere like New Orleans, he could crumble. Absolutely. It's not, but that's like any quarterback. Any quarterback could go to a bad spot. That's football. But Milroe, like if the Browns took Milroe and Hunter, that'd be amazing. We've talked about that. Or Shedeur and Hunter. The reason I love Shedeur and Hunter is you give Shedeur Hunter, he's not going to fail. He's not. It's going to be like two kids in the backyard throwing footballs together. They're amazing together. But I would love Milroe. If you can't get that done, go get Milroe. Milroe to Hunter would be fantastic. In Hunter, and you get Scadaboo. If I was in charge of the Browns, I'd have a team. I'd have everybody going, what is this GM doing? He's amazing. He drafted Milroe, he drafted Scadaboo, and he got Travis Hunter at number 2 overall. The Browns are back, baby. The Browns are back. But then you're sleeping and you wake me up. Smitty, wake up. Smitty, wake up. Oh, the Browns are on the clock. What are they really going to do? I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Probably take, I'm not saying Carter's not good, but you take Carter instead of Hunter. What the hell's wrong with you? All right, Red, anything else, Red? Appreciate you.
I hooked all that stuff up, bro. I was ready to talk about it. I had to say something to talk about for once.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you calling back. Calling anytime.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, later. Travis, final thoughts.
But can you drop the Patreon link for Blue? He was saying he might.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Join the Patreon, too.
Blue, that's definitely where you want to be. I'll even pin it right now. And Blue, the link's always in the description of every video. And Travis, you could also tell people that too if you ever need to get to them real quick. Link's always in the description of every video. The Patreon link, the Dynasty channel link, the merch link, always in the description of every single video. Pinned it right now. Join the Patreon. The Patreon, what is it? It's a 365 24/7 live chat group, Blue. And I'm in there. You know, I'm not going to answer every question. Some people join it and they're like, at Smitty, where's Smitty? I have a question. Where's Smitty? It's more about the community. I'm not just at someone's beck and call inside the live chat, but I like living there. I want it to grow. I want to be there all the time. So get into the live chat. $10 a month, Blue. Cancel anytime though. That's like a cup of coffee. Okay. You're running late anyway. You don't need the cup of coffee to work. You're running late, Blue. We're getting you organized. Go join. The link's in the description. Cancel anytime. Go ahead, Travis.
He's joining now, said.
All right, attaboy, Blue.
No, I just said he's joining now. So
yeah.
He's all set.
Okay, Blue, I'm going to go into the Patreon right now.
I'm good.
Into the general chat, and I'm going to say, where are you, Blue? Where are you, Blue? I don't know if he spells it B-L-U, or does he have the E? I don't know.
B-L-U-E.
Okay, I didn't know if he's creative with it or something. Okay. Where are you, Blue? All right, Blue, respond to that message there. Let's get something kick-started over there. All right, Travis, we'll see you later.
Yep.
Be live tonight. Thanks. I'll be live tonight about midnight Eastern. All right, guys, appreciate all of you. Do it live. Ashton Jeanty, either going to be, as the topics, we'll close out on these topics. Ashton Jeanty, either a Bronco or a Raider. That's kind of the thinking here. Ashton Jeanty, let me put him back on screen. Travis Hunter, probably a Cleveland Brown. So Jeanty, a Bronco or a Raider. Travis Hunter, probably a Cleveland Brown. And Shedeur, New Orleans Saints, if the Giants don't do the right thing. I still have hope the Giants, who brought him in for a private workout, I still think the Giants are going to grab the kid, hopefully. Neighbors, it's going to be great. See you all later. Appreciate you. Deuces. We'll see you all over. Whoever wants to go to the Patreon. Smitty, where are the $50 predictions posted? On the board behind me. Up here on the board behind me. Check it out. All up there. Those are the bold predictions. You just can't take one of the three that I have just because it isolates those three. You know, just show predictions, things we're standing on. And so you can't one up those. You can't say Neighbors is, -1 wide receiver, or unless it's you do a bust take. You can do a Neighbors or bust. That's a completely different thing. But you can't say Neighbors is the -- overall player because I have him up there. Jeanty, top 5 running back. Bucky, top 5 running back. Pick anything but those three. And anytime anybody drops a $50 super chat and they put their bold prediction in there, we'll throw it up there. It doesn't have to be top 5. It could be anything you want. It could be the Eagles, don't make the playoffs. It could be the Kyler Murray runs for a 100-yard game. It could be anything you want. Anything you want. Just make it so that you can win it. Last year, we had so many bold things. We only had like 5 things that actually landed. So we had to decide Out of all the bold predictions, we had so many crazy ones that we had like 5 ones that actually converted to decide between. So anytime you drop it, bro, and the winner's gonna co-host a show, probably via phone line, but we have the option of video, but via phone line, co-host a show with me. The winner gets that. Superfish won last year. Jonnu Smith was a top 5 tight end prediction. That's the one that won. It was a fantastic prediction, and Superfish has yet to claim the prize, but I'm sure Superfish will either give it out, that's kind of Superfish's style, or join on the phone line sometime very soon. See you all tonight at midnight Eastern. Anytime you drop a $50 bold prediction, we will let you put a bold prediction up. Do it live. See you all later. Blue, are you on the Patreon yet? There he is. No, that's Travis. Where are you at? Blue. I'm putting in Blue in the chat. Go to the general chat, Blue. That's where we're hanging out, waiting for you. Anybody else wants to chat on the Patreon, get on over there. I pinned it in the live chat. I'll drop the link one more time. There's the Patreon link. It's in the description of every video if you want to check it out later. Join the Patreon. It is unbelievable hanging out with you guys 365 24/7 in the live chat Patreon. That's all it really is. There's some articles that I write that are connected. There's like 4 buttons at the bottom. One's articles, and the other is the live chat. This feature is essentially there for the live chat. And during games, we're all piled into the game day lounge. And literally there's like 30, 40, 50 people in there going, did you see that play? What do you need? I need Bijan to score again. And it's the best place to hang out during the games, whether it's a Monday night game, Sunday night game, Thursday night game, or all of the morning games and on Sunday, or all the afternoon games. We're literally living on this app during the games. It's the best place to be. And I'm giving away, like, there's a contest that we're doing for the Dynasty League. It's going to be the official Dynasty League. We draft on the show. We do the rookie draft on the show every year. It's the only Dynasty League, the official Dynasty League of the channel. We're going to give away a spot inside the Patreon, most likely, or give away spots to other leagues inside the Patreon. So hang tight on that. Appreciate you all. See you at midnight Eastern. Okay, Blue, we'll see you when you upgrade. Appreciate you.